Good morning.
Good morning.
I wonder what that means. This share. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Yeah, I don't have anything to complain about. So welcome to the second day of our themed weeks. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out. Sometimes the computer's very perplexing to me. Trying to figure out some computer things as I figure out other things. Again, in lieu of our producer. I'm gonna just push this and see what happens. If it doesn't work, then actually I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing.
Well, it still says live, so we're good.
That's true. So I guess it's all good. Yesterday, we talked about Motivational Monday. You know, we have these new themes. And today is Gratitude Tuesday. So we're talking about what are you grateful for? And I posted a thing this morning that said, the struggle ends when the gratitude begins. And I really love that because I think, you know, as with all these things, there is the sort of literal and then the metaphorical. And I think that a lot of it lives somewhere in between. So you can wake up in a really hard situation and still have gratitude. There are people in pretty poor places, whether that's financially poor or emotionally poor or whatever, however you define poor, who are still filled with gratitude. And there are people who seemingly have everything who are very, very short on gratitude. I can think of someone who lives in a great big pale house on the East Coast who I think is lacking significantly in gratitude.
Easy tiger.
I think this audience is pretty much with us. But, you know, I think that's a problem for him. So I think the interesting piece about starting with gratitude is just this simple idea that regardless where you are, regardless what's going on in life, there is absolutely always something to be grateful for. Something as simple as a beautiful sunrise, a bucket of flowers, a great piece of toast. I have certainly spent many moments of my life grateful for an incredible piece of toast. The Del Val's love toast.
Yes, they do.
You know, so I think it doesn't need to always be some major thing. But we decided to build this into this themed week idea because it can be easy to start to take really lovely things for granted because they become part of your normal day to day. And it's not until, again, you disrupt your rhythm and think to take conscious care of them that you notice them. So do you have anything in particular that you'd like to express having gratitude for today?
The obvious one, of course, would be I'm grateful I'm sober, but I'm also grateful, and I gripe about these. I've been griping about this for the last few weeks. I am incredibly grateful for the AA meetings I go to. You know, I had a moment of ungratitude just Friday when I said to Dana, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to go to this. I just they're not the same on Zoom, and I'm up to my back teeth with Zoom." But it might become, for a while, still the new normal. So I just thought, you know what, be grateful you're going to a Zoom meeting. And I went, and of course it was fantastic, because it was an AA meeting. And I'm incredibly grateful for those, but it's hard to, it's hard not to gripe sometimes. It's easy to fall into the, oh, I don't want to do that. Because you actually got a choice of doing something you're actually grateful for or just being a butt.
Well, it's interesting because I heard Dax Shepard last week. I was listening to an Armchair Expert podcast, and he talks a lot about his addiction and recovery, and he's a big believer in AA. And he talked about when COVID first kicked in and they started transitioning in-person meetings to Zoom, how much he loved it, because it's an hour drive, because he lives in Los Angeles, to his meeting, go to the meeting for an hour, and then it's an hour home. And so he found that it was amazing to lose 2 of those 3 hours, or to regain them. But he said after he got over sort of the beauty of not having to drive to and from them, then he felt exactly like you do, and sort of this, it's the community piece that's really missing. And while Zoom is the best we have for meeting, and it's such an improvement over like being on the telephone or anything else we've ever had in any period in history, it's still not the same as being in person.
You don't catch up on visual clues, and a lot of students have said this, that they still feel isolated because they can't read the whole body language of someone on Zoom.
Well, and for instance, when I look over here to see what's happening, it's distracting, where in real life you'd know that I'm just looking at my computer. So it sets up, I think, some weird insecurities. Like, am I boring people? Why are they looking away? What are they looking at? Are they watching a Facebook video? What's happening? So I think that's also just human nature to be a little bit insecure about it.
I am incredibly grateful that AA meetings still exist.
So our question for you before I talk about mine is, what are you grateful for? Put it in the comments section. We would love to see these daily doses become less of us talking to you and more of a conversation. So what are you grateful for? It does not need to be addiction related. I'm actually grateful for 2 things, among many. One, I am really grateful for what I have learned through what Maz has learned at AA. I have referenced this a little bit in the past, and I know I'm not alone in this as the spouse of someone who's going through the program. I have a little bit of envy that Dr. Mary gets this weekly therapy session, and that he has the opportunity to dig into various issues and really work through them with other people who are there to not only support him, but to add their voice to it as well. Oh, Mother, that's lovely. Grateful that our family is rebuilt. Boy, thank you. As are we.
Yeah.
As are we.
Thank you, Bonnie.
But I have learned so much, because Maz will come back from meetings and say, well, today we talked about, he obviously never reveals any personal information, but he talks through various things. And I haven't announced this yet, and we're not going to talk about it any further today, but I have now been to 2 Al-Anon meetings, and I'm a little skeptical, which everybody tells me is normal. But I think that I am going to have the opportunity to work through some stuff as well. So that can be a Grateful Tuesday conversation as I get deeper into it. But that's the first thing I'm grateful for, is just what I'm learning to work through for myself, what I'm watching Maz work through, what we're working through together because of what he's learning and working through in AA. And then my second one is I started a 21-day abundance meditation while I was on my writing retreat. And one of the challenges was that I needed to start a group for myself, which some of you know I struggled with a little bit and kind of balked at, and then decided to do. And so there's about 24 people going through the abundance meditation days with me as the leader. And I have loved that. I have really had a great shift. My initial thought was, I can't ask people to do this. And then I realized it's not about asking people to do me a favor. It's about me providing an opportunity for other people to experience the beauty of meditation and the abundance that can come from it. And you are one of them. And you're a little bit behind.
I am, but I'm going to catch up.
Yeah,
because it's actually it's enjoyable. You know, you don't go, yeah, you're going to do it, but it's another thing that gives you peace of mind. Just sometimes just talking through or listening to someone with their bent on an addiction, it weirdly gives you a peace of mind. I think mostly because you're still not, you're not alone, and if I can say something that someone nods and say thanks for that, that just makes me feel grateful that I was there to help in a very small way. I mean, I don't solve anyone's problems in the remotest, but every little thing that helps that anyone can say does help the whole picture.
Good morning, Chris. Yeah, so we don't need to belabor this, but if you haven't written in and you're watching and you're thinking about things that you're grateful for, be sure that you are writing about them. Kim, thanks. It scrolled past. Grateful for you, Dana, for bringing meditation back into my daily life. That makes me really happy,
that's nice.
Kim. That's excellent. You wrote me one of the most incredible notes I have ever received in my entire life on Saturdays. So thank you for paying it forward. So yeah, spend some time today thinking about what you're grateful for, both the large things and the small things, because it's the small things that can be the incremental little build-ups that actually matter in our day-to-day lives.
I'm actually now grateful that people are leaving comments.
It's tripping forward, so it's all great. Have a great, great day. Tomorrow is, I think, Inspiration Wednesday, if I remember correctly. Yes, Inspired Wednesday.
Inspired.
So tomorrow we're going to talk about an article, and I'll try and post it beforehand so you can read it if you want to. But
Look at us, the teachers. There'll be a test on this.
there will not. Have an excellent, excellent
Have a nice day.
We're really grateful for you. See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.